Liberia. Today is Tuesday, December 19, 2023. My name is Titi Gibro with this afternoon's presentation. And the headlines: Executive submits to Legislature 2024 draft national budget in the tune of $625 million. Joint Presidential Transition Team holds a third meeting Wednesday as it ramps up preparation for a Democratic turnover.
That meeting is certainly going to be focusing on what are going to be the financial implications for hosting a successful inauguration program.
Nemot vows to keep incoming administration in check over mammoth 93 promises made during political campaign.
When people come to you and say, vote for me, I will do this, and we vote for them, it becomes a social contract between they and us.
And away from Liberia now, Guinea's capital Conakry faces power outages following Monday's explosion that killed 14 people and injured 190 others. Sports, the news in French, a report of Monrovia's weather and foreign development are all packaged. Zokwe Beslukonin sets the pace with a bulletin of news.
The executive has submitted to the legislature for passage the 2024 draft national budget. The 2024 budget is in the tune of $625 million US. Deputy Finance Minister Tannen Brunson presented the budget, praying the legislature to give the instrument a timely consideration. Minister Brunson said though submission of the budget is long overdue, the executive expects the legislature to do the needful. The Joint Presidential Transition Team (JPTT) is expected to hold its third meeting on Wednesday at the Foreign Ministry to meet the January 22, 2024 inaugural target. Wednesday's meeting will be co-chaired by Vice President-elect Jeremiah Kong and Foreign Minister D. Maxwell Kimaya. A member of the JPTT Secretariat and Secretary General of the Unity Party, Amos Tue, said significant progress is being made to ensure a successful inauguration and detailed turnover note.
Well, I think so far the transition is going very smoothly. We are trying to meet the target and the objective of the transition process, consistent with Executive Order 123.
Mr. Tue told ELBC Tuesday that the Secretariat is also convening a meeting Tuesday to look at plans presented to aid by the sub-inaugural committee headed by Madam Miata Famule. The Unity Party Secretary General also dispelled media reports that the Joint Presidential Transitional Team is not being effective due to the absence of Vice President-elect Kong. Namot Partners for Democratic Development says it will begin following up on promises made by President-elect Joseph Boakai after his inauguration on January 22, 2024. According to Namot, Ambassador Boakai publicly made about 93 promises during the campaign, all of which have been documented. Namot Executive Director Eddie Jawolo told ELBC Tuesday that Ambassador Boakai, among other things, promised access declaration, audit of the outgoing government, and road rehabilitation, especially in the southeast.
There are other promises around road construction, especially the southeastern road. That's major for them. When it comes to issue of accountability, there are promises about asset declaration of the president or appointed official. They're talking about investigating agreement.
Mr. Jawolo said each promise has been assigned a researcher to keep track on fulfillment or decline. He urged the incoming government to welcome the initiative as it helps to strengthen the country's democracy. A fallen tree has reportedly killed a 53-year-old man to a cart in Putu, Panwolo, Grand Jide County. Our correspondent said Mr. Cart is an employee of the Euro Logging Company operating in the county. According to our correspondent, the man died while felling trees for the company. The death of Mr. Cott brings to 6 the number of employees of the Euro Logging Company in Grand Jita County who died under similar circumstances. Our correspondent quotes residents of Grand Jita County as attributing constant deaths at the company to lack of awareness on safety rules and risk management, among others. Defense for Children International and partners are expected to pilot an evidence-based project on tackling what it calls exploitative child domestic work in Liberia. DCI Executive Director Anthony Fodekawa said the project, supported by Freedom Fund, will combat exploitative child domestic work initially in Montserrat and Nimba counties. Anthony Kawa told a news conference Tuesday that the overall goal is to reduce exploitation among child domestic workers and protect children from abuse.
Data collected by Freedom Fund in Liberia indicate child domestic work around 20.4 hours per week during domestic work, with half of the child domestic workers between 14 and 25 hours. On average, total children aged 16 to 17 years old spend more hours on domestic work.
He stated that DCR will form partnerships and collaborate with local community stakeholders to hold town hall meetings with traditional and religious leaders to strengthen the impact of the project in the communities. Kawa added that his organization will also put together traditional, cultural, and religious community dialogue to amplify the voices of children. Public Works Ministry has dispatched a team of surveyors, technicians, and engineers to Grand Crew County to conduct surveys on targeted roads for pavements. The surveys are intended to establish demarcations between road project sites, private and residential areas in the county. According to our Grand Crew County correspondent, the initiative will also determine the costs of the roads to allow the Public Works Ministry seek funding for the road projects. The targeted areas of the surveys are Yonquia, Yen, Clairvaux, and Barclayville. And the chairman of the Professional Council of Elders, Edwin Gwilly, says the organization has begun vigorous recruitment exercise to incorporate professionals into the council. Speaking Tuesday to this station, Mr. Gwilly disclosed the exercise is based on several distinct characteristics to include responsibility and professional individuals. He said the organization's focus is also geared towards promoting good behaviors and professional standards at home and abroad. Mr. Gwilly said the aim of the group is to have representation in every segment in the governance of the country.
Zokwe Beslakane returns a little later with our foreign development and weather report. One of our top stories this afternoon: joint presidential transitional team holds a third meeting Wednesday as it ramps up preparation for a democratic turnover. Well, as you may have heard in the news, the executive has submitted to the legislature for passage the 2024 draft national budget. Deputy Finance Minister Tene Brossom presented the budget Tuesday at the Capitol. ELBC legislative reporter Emmanuel Colley joins us now on the line from the Capitol. Emmanuel, good afternoon. Emmanuel?
Good afternoon, and it's good joining you live from the Capitol here.
Okay, Emmanuel, what is the total amount in the national envelope?
So the estimated total resource envelope for the 2024 budget is US $625.57 million.
What does that submission mean? Because this government is already outgoing. What does that mean?
The first thing, government is continuity. So part of the responsibility of the government is to set the revenue tune for the country. So it means that the incoming government will have something to start off as they proceed with the governance of the state in terms of, civil servant, in terms of resource mobilization for the country. So it means a whole lot because remember, the whole country runs on the budget. So
right.
You may be aware, prior to today, the executive, has requested the legislature not once, not twice, to see the extension of their sitting. So up to now, the legislature hasn't gone for break because they have to debate the budget to pass it, which will now set the tone for the new government to proceed.
Any idea as to why there was a delay in the submission of the budget?
So, in previous communications that have come from the executive, they've outlined the issue of the just ended election where the country was politically charged. So they've said, yes, because of the election that play a very pivotal factor in the delay to the submission of the budget. So now that the budget has been passed, it means that, not passed, but have been submitted, it means that deliberation will now begin to start moving forward.
So going forward, what's next from the angle of the legislature before I leave you?
So just before the submission of the budget, one of the pleas that came from the Deputy Minister from Finance was the expeditious passage of the budget, because you have less than 2 weeks, to the new year, and the legislature by now should be adjourned. So today is just Tuesday and Thursday, so it means they have to be very expeditious in passage of the budget moving forward, because if the budget is not passed, it means the country will continue to be on hold, which I don't think this government wants to do.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Emmanuel is our legislative reporter. To this story now, Wednesday, December 20, will see the third major meeting of the Joint Presidential Transitional Team at the Foreign Ministry, looking to meet targets of the January 22, 2024 inauguration. The meeting will be co-chaired by the Vice President-elect Jeremiah Kong and Foreign Minister of the incumbent government D. Maxwell Kimaya. On ELBC Economic Hour Tuesday, Vavle Kamara asked a member of the JPTT Secretariat, the Secretary General of the Unity Party, Amos Tue, to provide the progress that has been made so far.
So far, the transition is going